And I'm thinking, what's old underwear? Ugh. He's 35 years old and he's an underwear model. But we see the same as we keep going through, talking to people who use boutiques. Very few of them only use boutiques. They've usually got memberships in other types of clubs, or they do other types of exercise. Some of them are doing sports, like they're doing MMA, or they're doing jiu-jitsu, or they're doing karate. They're mixing what they do for their fitness. But these are the top 5% of exercisers in our industry in London. These are the real hardcore exercisers. This would be difficult to replicate in the town where I live because of the numbers of people. They also probably wouldn't be prepared to pay this amount of money. But in London, there's such a large density of people, and there are people there that are using exercise as their social life. In fact, we tracked people who go, on Monday night, we all go to Barry's boot camp, and we do Justin's class. And on Tuesday night, we all just go for a run. They do the colour run. Thursday night, we go to, it's not up there, but they'll go to One Rebel. So sometimes they're following the teacher, almost like I used to follow DJs to nightclubs. And it's an easy way to understand how people are behaving. They're almost moving tribe-like as groups, not just from workout to workout, but from week to week. So they go, on Monday night, everyone goes Barry's. As if Barry's is the equivalent of a nightclub and they all go and do their class there. Average visit frequency. This has been seen in other countries as well, pretty much exactly the same numbers, but we're seeing the average visit frequency of a boutique user as being twice a week. They're going to their boutique once, but on average twice a week. The highest users are 4 times a week, but they're usually counted on one hand. So don't think you're going to open a boutique and have people who come 4 times a week. They just won't do that in terms of boutique workouts. The big boxes, average visit frequency is 1.2 per week. It usually takes place on a Monday or a Tuesday. Yeah, in fact, it usually takes place after 4:30 on a Monday. The highest usage is much higher. It's 5 times as much. The budgets, their average visit frequency is just about 2 visits per week. But again, they also have a high usage maximum. And when we start to interview these people, what we find is that these people used to be these people. They've gone from big boxes to budget to work out. One, because of the money, but secondly, because they say, well, why would I pay for service that I'm not getting when I can guarantee I'm not going to get service in a low cost? And in fact, often the low cost operators have much more equipment, so it's actually easier to get their training sessions done than some of the big boxes. So if you then start to look at visit frequency, in the big boxes, 68% of people visit once per week. And that decreases all the way to just 6% coming more than 3 times per week. So there's a lot of people coming and using the club once per week, and it's usually in the early part of the week, wherever the early part of the week is where you're from, because some countries Friday, Saturday is the weekend, some Saturday, Sunday is the weekend. So it depends where your week starts. Average weekly visit in the boutiques, 15% come once, 45% come twice, 10% come more than 3 times a week. I actually think it's less than that. I think sometimes when we're asking people how often they come, they lie. Particularly these ones. You know, you're not really lying that you only come once a week. Well, they often lie that they're coming more. Or they believe there was a week where they did 4 at one point, but not every week. The average weekly visit frequency in the budgets, 55% come twice a week, so a large proportion are coming twice a week. And the visit frequency in our budget operators, and most of ours aren't 24-hour. A lot of ours aren't 24-hour clubs. They're still late afternoon to late evening. So it's a bigger spread, but it's 4 o'clock through till 11 are the busy hours. But again, you've got the hardcore utilising the club less frequently. But this is what it looks like to you in terms of your income. So the top line is the boutiques. And what you normally see as a pattern for income is someone will buy a taster session. Then they'll often buy some packages. They'll keep doing those packages for about 9 months before they stop coming on a regular basis. So we're looking at people going into boutiques and using boutiques on a regular basis for about 9 months before their behaviour starts to change. And when we ask them about why their behaviour was starting to change, what they tell us is there's only so much of one type of thing they want to do every week for 9 months. So I would describe it in the same way as going to a restaurant. If you went to the same restaurant every week at the same time to sit in the same table and eat the same meal, how long would it be before you got bored of going to that restaurant? So this is just fatigue of facility. It's nothing to do with the qualities decreasing. It's just people are going, I've done Barry's, I'm going to go and try something else. So we often then see them reducing their package length first and then going down to the odd or one-off visit. And what happens is, if you overlay where they go next, they go to somewhere else. So they don't stop exercising in boutiques, they just change boutiques. The low-cost operator, the patterns we're seeing is about 3 to 4 months before someone quits. Then there's a gap, and then they rejoin again. They do another 3 to 4 months, and then they quit, and they rejoin again. So a large proportion of the low-cost members have already been members of that facility before, but they're taking breaks in that membership. But what that means is it takes 18 months to get 12 months worth of revenue from them. Because they keep having these gaps in their workouts. So you can get a 12 months total revenue, but it will take you 18 months to do it. And then in the big boxes, 12 months if it's an agreement, and people are leaving. And often what we find is, because we track their visit frequency, they've actually stopped visiting before they've stopped paying. So their payments still are going through, but they've actually stopped using the club. It's a really strong predictor for you that you need to do something. That's all right. You need to do something to get them back into the club at least once per week. Annual retention of the boutiques, about 73% of people are still using that boutique after 12 months. But their visit frequency has changed from regular visit frequency to more ad hoc basis. The big boxes, they're still holding on to about 58% of their customers year on year. Some of that will be to do with location or convenience. In some locations in London, that will be because it's a corporate membership and someone else is paying for them to have that membership and continue that membership. The budget operators, some of them, in fact, a lot of them are struggling to even retain 38% of the same people for more than 12 months. So who's winning? Well, on one hand, you could actually say the boutiques are winning because they've got more people getting through to 12 months. But if you look at it in terms of actual numbers of people, here you might only be talking about 200 to 300 people in total. Here, you could be talking about 8,000 or 9,000 because the volumes are different. So it becomes difficult to go, well, but you can certainly sustain a business at 73% retention. This becomes more challenging because these businesses require so many people to make them viable businesses.